Guess what month it is? It's June, and here at Tpull's Corner that means it's Evergreen month, because we have been doing this for 1 year now, and when we debuted, we came out with Evergreen month back last June in 2021. And what Evergreen month is we take the key terms that Wizards of the Coast has defined that they're common enough that they're used all the time. And this is, at first we geared this just towards the newer players, to introduce them to each Evergreen term, how it worked, and to overload the deck with creatures and spells that had that particular trait, so that we could see, so we could demonstrate the trait, and also so we could see how it was defended against, and if we could maybe overload the enemy by concentrating, by focusing on cards that had just one particular trait. So we're going to do something similar, I think, for this month. I don't know if we'll release a new video every single day, but last time we started with Trample, so we're going to start with Trample again this year, but I am going to shake it up a little bit because I am going to get a little more complicated than when I started out last year. Not a ton, just a little bit. So what I mean by that is we're still going to concentrate on the first trait, which again is going to be Trample this year, but we're going to get to use new cards because there's been some set rotations, right? And so we've got some cards that are no longer available to us, and here we have some new cards that we get to use as well. But we'll also have other traits. What I did at the end of Evergreen month was I started combining traits and showing how you could use them in concert with each other, like First Strike and Death Touch in the same deck and that kind of thing. So I'm going to do a little bit of that here, and we're starting with a deck called Flying Tramplers. So if you're new, if you go here and look at Trample, the definition is a creature with Trample can deal excess combat damage to the player or planeswalker it's attacking. So if I've got somebody like, let's go to Bloodvial Purveyor, he's got 5 power and 6 toughness, and he's got flying, so he needs somebody either who has flying or reach to block him. And if he doesn't have that, then he just gets to fly on over and hit him on their head, which is awesome in and of itself. Okay, but let's say that we have a 3/3 flyer who decides to block. He does 3 points of damage to the 3/3 flyer, and then the remaining 2 points of damage in his power 5 uses the Trample ability, flies over and hits the enemy anyway. Okay? So here we have Moldering Carrick. He's a 3/3 Trampler who also has lifelink, so he gets to add 3 life when he connects. If he's not blocked, he just deals 3 damage to the target player. If he's blocked by somebody who has toughness 3 or 4 or more, nothing gets through to the enemy player. But if the opponent blocks this with a chump blocker 1/1 creature, then only 1 damage gets done to the creature, enough to kill him, because that's his toughness, and the remaining 2 go over and trample on over him and hit the opponent in the face. So the idea behind Trample is that we're going to go ahead and use all this extra power that we have and overpower their defenses, so even if we die, the damage still gets to the opponent and we kill him faster. Okay, so I combine this with a Flying Angel theme for the most part. And I've got 4 Hailstorm Valkyries, and you can use Snowlands to pump them up, get +2/+2 until the end of their turn. So the more Snowlands you have free, the more you can pump that one up. We've also got Cleaving Reaper, which is a 5/3 flyer with Trample. And here, if they die, you can pay 3 life, return the Reaper from your graveyard to your hand. You can only do that if you had an Angel or Berserker enter the battlefield under your control this turn. In keeping with the Angel theme, and to make it easier to bring back the Cleaving Reapers, we do have some Shapeshifters, and we'll get to those in a minute. But let's start with a quick overview. We got 24 creatures. We got 3.1 average land, or mana casting cost, and we got 24 land, which is about standard for us. We've got some options here with Valentindina the Vain, who's got Menace and Lifelink. Or we can cast Lizette, who, whenever you gain life, you get to pay 1 mana, and if you do, you put a +1 counter on each creature you control, and those creatures gain Trample until end of the turn. We are used to putting Valentin in our black decks and just ignoring Lizette, and and it's tempting when you get Valentin to just play him right away. But we mostly, because of the theme of the deck, we mostly want to play with Lizette, gain some life, put on a counter, and give all the creatures that don't have trample, because the changelings do not have trample. Okay, we've got 3 village rights, so that if we're about to lose a creature to removal, we can just use this spell and draw 2 cards and not have the creature just be gone and wasted. We've got You Are Already Dead from the Kamigawa expansion. If we deal a creature damage but the creature's not dead, we can use this card to finish off the opponent's creature, and we still get to draw a card so it replaces itself. We've got 2 protection cards, 1 Snakeskin Veil and 1 Tamiyo's Safekeeping, that give the target permanents hexproof. This will also give it indestructible and you gain 2 life. Snakeskin Veil makes it hexproof and give it a counter. So we have ways that we can benefit if they remove our creatures, and we've got just a couple of spells to maybe keep our creatures on the board if they're overwhelming us and we really feel the need that we need to keep somebody there. Deadly Spute, it's very similar to Village Rights, except in this case it costs 1 more mana, and the result is we don't get to just draw 2 cards, but we also get to draw a treasure token, which can give us some help if we need help with mana. Okay, the Shapeshifters. Remember, these count as angels, so if they're already out, and or actually not if they're already out, but they're very cheap. They're only 2 to bring down. So if we have a Cleaving Reaper in the graveyard, we can pay 3 life, spend only 2 mana, and bring the Masked Vandal out, and bring the Cleaving Reaper back. In the meantime, when Masked Vandal enters the battlefield, you can exile a creature from your graveyard. If you do get to exile a target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls, Black doesn't normally do well with getting rid of enchantments or artifacts, so this is a way to do that. So we actually want to keep these in reserve, especially considering Kamigawa is enchantment heavy and artifact heavy. Debt to the Kami. Target opponent exiles a creature or an enchantment, so that's good variety there, good options. That's yet one more way. Finally, we have a way that Black can deal with enchantment, right? And I was very glad to see that card. We have Jaren, the Corrupted Bishop. When he enters the battlefield, you lose 1 life and you create a 1/1 white human creature token. Where the trample comes in is at the beginning of your end step. If you have exactly 13 life yet, and you have 6 open mana, you can pay it to transform Jaren into the Ormondal the Corruptor you see to the right, legendary demon, and he's got trample. And he's a flyer, so he's a flying trampler in keeping with the theme of the deck. You can sacrifice another creature and draw a card, but he's basically a 6/6 flying trampler. Okay, next we don't have a lot of removal in the deck, okay? We sort of have enchantments and artifacts there. We do have a way to exile a creature here. This is the bulk of the rest of our single removal, Soul Shatter. Each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker with the highest amount of value. Okay, the other Shapeshifters, 3 of the Realm Walkers. When they enter the battlefield, we get to choose a creature type. We can look at the top of our library, and we can cast creature spells of the chosen type from the top of the library. So what else do we have? We've got the Angels, and we've got Zombie Bears and Zombie Crocodiles. So we'll choose Zombies and Angels, and that'll pretty much enable us to get everybody out that we want to. Or we could choose a Shrine if we get the 3rd Realm Walker out, and we don't have it yet. So here's Go Shintai of Hidden Cruelty, another Shrine. It's not a flyer or a trampler, but we had trample over with Go Shintai of Boundless Vigor from Kamigawa. He is a trampler at the beginning of your end step. You pay a mana, and you get to put a counter on him for each shrine you control. So if we have 2 shrines, we can put 2 counters on and boost up his growth. So Go Shintai, I was playing Black. If I'm going to put the shrine in, for his trample ability, I figured I would go ahead and increase his utility by having the other shrine that was available to me in the other color I'm playing. Okay, so we mentioned the Hellstrom Valkyrie. We've got 4 of those. We've got 1 Blood Vial Purveyor, who is by himself a flying trampler with no extra help. 5/6 flying trampler. We've got Grizzly Ghoul with trample. He enters the battlefield with a +1 counter for each creature that died this turn. Moldering Karak, trample and lifelink. We mentioned the Cleaving Reaver. And finally, an enchantment that deals with trample. Each skeleton you control has trample. Attacks each combat if able, and gets +X/+0, where X is the number of other skeletons you control. At the beginning of your end step, create a tapped 1/1 black skeleton creature token, and if a creature died this turn, create 2 of those tokens instead. Okay, so the key thing is it fits the theme that we have trample. In the meantime, all of these shapeshifters that we have also count as skeletons, so if they're already on the board, they will count and be compelled to attack, I believe, as well. In the meantime, we have one board wipe. We usually do, just because, you know, even though we've got 24 creatures, which is kind of a lot, we do come up against a lot of cheap swarm decks and stuff like that. So if we're starting to get overwhelmed, we'll destroy them. In the meantime, what works really nice with this card is Grizzly Ghoul. If we say we destroy 6 creatures with Blood on the Snow, and it doesn't matter if Grizzly Ghoul is one of them, right? We can have him enter the battlefield and, you know, get a lot of +1s on him. So nice little synergy there. Okay, the rest is the lands. We do have 2 Hive of the Eye Tyrants and 3 Lair of the Hydras. If I went through any of that too fast, just pause the video. There's a Field of Ruin to destroy an opposing Lair of the Hydra or Hive of the Eye Tyrant. And so that's our theme. We've got Tramplers, we've got Flyers, we've got Shapeshifters to help us out, whether we get the other stuff out, the Skeleton Swarming or not, whether we need to bring back a Cleaving Reaver or not, that kind of stuff. So we've got a lot of different synergies working. I wanted to explain all those up front. But we're still mostly dealing with trampling creatures. Alright, with that in mind, remember to like and subscribe to the videos. If you got somebody new to Magic, wants to understand more of the principles of how everything works, this is a great month for you to jump on board, because the whole month we're going to be concentrating on these evergreen terms. Alright, and away we go. Okay, 2 lands, and I've got both colors. Hello, Cuddy Monster. Lots of cards in your deck, more than average. More than the starting 60 anyway. Okay, choose a non-creature, non-land. That's half of my cards. Soul Shatter? Probably. I think that's what I'd take. He's diligently studying everything. Oh, he took the Village Rites. Interesting choices. Okay. Maybe it's a non-creature deck? No, there's a creature right there. Here, let's not use Soul Shatter yet. Let's go here. See what we got. It's not an angel. We already got zombie bears and zombie crocodiles. Maybe I should have chosen zombie. Here, we'll take that away. Get rid of somebody. Alright. No attacks. I think this is a discard deck, right? Heavy on the discard. What do you got? No, you're gonna let it... Hello. Why did you just... They didn't want to lose any life? Maybe they have... Aha! Board wipe! That was what I was gonna say. Okay, then in that case... Just do this. We'll make sure you don't have something that brings creatures back. Uh-oh. Can sacrifice it to make an angel. He's already got enough for that. And he kicks it. And he's got flight. We don't care about any of that, because we have this. And we still have the Snakeskin Veil. Why do I have a feeling he's got another board wipe? Snakeskin Veil cannot help against a board wipe. you know what? We're going to let him see the card he already knows about. Have fun with that. You can't do a board wipe now. Ah. Doesn't need a board wipe when he has another removal. Let's do this. We're going to exile a creature from the card. We're going to target the enchantment. And we'll get rid of one of the Karaks. Perfect. Thank you, sir. That's why they're there. You gotta have something to deal with enchantments. I have a preference towards black. Black doesn't do well except for Feed the Swarm to destroy enchantments. So, 2 copies of Mass Vandal are there to deal with enchantments. Goshintai is really there to deal with 1/1s. If I can keep the shrine down there and have 1 free mana at the end of each turn, I can take out all the 1/1s. Alright, is the Angel going to be enough to stop Purveyor with what he's got in his hand? We're going all in. What do you got up your sleeve? Nothing. Trample works. There's nothing to destroy. It's only good against creatures. Professor Onyx.
Under my tutelage? Sorry, you don't make the grade. Whatever.
Maybe overkill.
I have more important things to do.
Who are they going to bring back? We don't care about Virus Beetle now. We're not keeping any cards in our hand. You don't care about Virus Beetle either, as it turns out. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Attack! They're keeping pace with us on land. Aha! Limits of discard when you're got rid of all your cards in your hand already. Okay, gets rid of the extra land. I could use another shrine at this point. We could put that down. But these have menace. You know, don't have enough to do all of it, so what else do we want to get rid of? If he has more pillow drops, let's get rid of Kitesail Cleric. Get rid of the flyers. No, still had another discard card. Okay. We don't care if you die, because you shouldn't have attacked. You don't have... You could gain 1 life, right? Oh, he's got vigilance. Okay, so maybe we do care on that. No, because... You know what? You did the wrong thing, you scried. And now I can do this. Oops, not like that. He doesn't have first strike, right? What else do we want to do? Get rid of Virus Beetle? Why not? As a matter of fact, we can even afford to pay the auto payment. But it doesn't destroy him. Because his toughness is 2 instead of 1. Okay, he gets a couple of cards, but only 3 mana left. And you can't destroy 2 lands with 3 mana. Multiple colors versus a very large number of cards in the deck. Let's see, I'm going to need 2 black for Blood Vial Purveyor anyway, so let's go ahead and put our second black source on the ground now. And now we can cast Realmwalker. We'll start with zombies. That way he'll think we're a zombie deck. Okay, I don't need Field of Ruin out right this second. I don't think he's got removal, right? So, on curve Blood Vial Purveyor. First blood is ours. And I don't mind seeing a bunch of land. Oh. Okay, the theme of the deck is Flying Tramplers. We put down 1 Flying Trampler, and they scoop. This is only our second match. I like the theme of the deck. Okay, match 3 is not as good to start with because we've got a bunch of 3 and 4 mana costing spells and only 2 land. Ah. Okay. I feel better. We don't need to worry about our second round right now. Oh. Who are you going to choose? I would take away Soul Shatter myself. But he doesn't like the flyer. So, let's get some black mana in here. Get rid of his flyer. Yeah, get rid of that guy too. It's already outpacing me on land. Not cool, man. Equipment deck. Great. We are not the greatest when it comes to equipment. Facing against equipment, I should say. But if we can get... Oh, there we go. Perfect. Okay. Lizette comes down. Attack and gain life. Once we gain life, we get to pay 1. Counter goes on each creature. Beautiful. It was beautiful. Then they destroyed everything. Let's see if we can overpower their Cosmos Elixir. You're already tapped. What are you going to do with that? That didn't make any sense to me. Alright, let's do this. We're just not very concerned about this Luminarch Aspirant. That's a little better. Six, 6, and 8, 6. Now we're concerned. 9, 7 flying first striker. And they're getting 2 life each turn. Okay, so let's get rid of whatever they got in there. They can't afford to attack, right? Right. Now they can afford to block my Hive of the Eye Tyrant, though. And they're going to buff the Frost Dragon, right? Or the Beggar. Okay. And they're going to attack. Why would you do that? So I'm going to block you. I'm going to block you. And then I'm going to get rid of you because you were going to die anyway. Okay, next. Angel. Oh, don't have enough mana. Attack! Okay. Put it on the Beggar. That'll mean my Blood Vial Purveyor can't kill it. For sure. There you go. Now if you keep those there and just pump up your health, I can't do much, can I? 4, 5, 6. Not enough there. So we'll put you down, and then we'll put you down. And we're done. And they scoop. I don't know. Looked like it was kind of putting up a tough battle. Did they leave too early? Maybe they just didn't have the patience. Flying Trampler? Flying Trampler. Take a bow. Okay, what happens if we just come out with Valentin first? I know we don't normally do that with this deck, but we don't have a lot of play here. So if they come out fast, we might need something fast to counter. It's very hard to tell at the very beginning usually. I don't think we have any 2 mana spells to cast, so we don't need to worry about that. White is usually quick these days, especially white and green. Those guys are usually using fast, cheap creatures for the most part. Let's try the Realm Walker. We've got a couple of angels out. Let's do zombie first. And attack first. They're still over 20. And life gain decks can be a real pain to overcome. What do we want to do? I think we want to get rid of you because you're irritating. At least get him under 20. Then we'll have a chance. Now, even if they have removal, we've got another blocker against Toski. We might have to worry about a Froghemoth soon. We gotta worry about clerics, huh? Our Ghost Shintai isn't going to work on an indestructible creature. Soul Shatter would. Soul Shatter would work just fine. Oh, we made him think. We made him think a lot. I don't know how, because they're all kind of tapped out. Okay, let's go with a flyer. They're not lacking for land and mana. There you go. Watch that life gain pile up. Okay, so we can put out a zombie bear now. Let's attack with that. We don't want to attack with that. They could block and kill that if they wanted, but they can't stop the flyer. We made them stop and think. Okay, it's worth them blocking. I wonder if they've got some angels that benefit from them having a high amount of health. The first time around we did this, my first trample deck didn't have... I don't think it had many or any flyers in it. I think we were mostly green. Alright, now he's got flyers to block. And that could be a Doomscar, or a counterspell, or a fight spell. One, two, three. Because you're tapped out. But I've got 2 snow-covered lands. So one of your guys gets blocked and the rest get trampled. I'm sorry, one of your Mistwalkers gets killed and the rest get trampled. So even when they have flying defenders, they're still getting overwhelmed by the flying and the trample combination. I decided to add in flying as a theme just because... Uh-oh, what's happening? No. You don't get to do that. Whatever creature you were going to summon, it's not as good. So you just get a regular shapeshifter. Yeah, so those all counted as squirrels, so they all got their counters. Question is, does he attack with the flyer to draw an extra card? Pass to blockers. Still can't do much with Valentin. As long as he has 2 defenders. Okay. We will put down the land. We can't really attack with many, but we can attack with our flyer. And then we get another flyer. In keeping with our theme, an angel that has flying and trample. It's like this angel that has flying and trample. Thinking of making a snow deck full of wizards. So the angel wizard will come in quite handy, I think. Fun little idea I've been tooling around with. Okay, he's only going to attack with that because he has to attack. I don't have enough to use that. I don't have another shrine to use that. So, we go in with our flyers again. Not enough mana to pump that up. If he kept the islands so he could pump them up twice, he could have made that a 3-2, and it would have died, but he could have stopped the Cleaving Reaper. Okay, I'll just pump this up. Do damage. And we have enough to pay for a pest. Awesome. He could have a Doomscar. I'd be in trouble with the Doomscar. They're all going to have base 4/4. This will be fun. Actually, I think they're dead after this, right? Unless they've got a surprise with the 2 mana they have left. I can just fly over and hit them. Tap target creature. Okay, so you get 1 more turn. I get to attack. I get to activate the ability. So you have 1 more turn of life, right? I'm keeping this. Yeah, you can have all that. That's 14 points of damage. That's not enough to kill me. Ah, he gets some more flying blockers. And some life. See, this is what I was thinking he had. Each time he's got just enough, doesn't he? This is going to be irritating. He's spending so long trying to survive. If he does survive, I'm going to be mildly peeved. He's doing math in his head, that's why. That's why it takes so long. We don't have to do math. Math is for blockers. He had another tap card. You little puke. It's fine. You're tapped out. Now you have 1 life point left. Okay, so he chooses 1 target creature. He does 14 points of damage to it. He thought he was going to do 14 points of damage to it. We're going to draw 2 cards with it instead. He's making good use out of his Archmage. He's got a full hand now. And he still has 2 blockers. Hasn't been able to use his cleric class that well yet. Oh, really? You're going to use a flying... What? Why would you do that? To get a card. Okay. Maybe he's getting a little desperate. One could hope. Okay, so... let's do the snow-covered land. And he has that tap card again. He's doing good, isn't he? Yeah, okay. He's got to block them both. And we pay for a pest. So unless he can tap us all... If he tapped us all, he could do 17 points of damage. He can bring back one of the flyers now, right? Ooh. The flyer gets exiled? Oh, that's right, because of Valentin. Duh. So it was actually a good choice to use Valentin instead of Lizette. Takes everybody that's died. Who does he have left? Does he have any creatures left? There's nobody he can use cleric class on. I forgot, whenever a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, you exile it instead. Thank you, Valentin. Maybe I should have 2 copies of you in my deck. One for Valentin and one for Lizette. Let's see. What can we do? We can block you. We can block you. We can kill you. It's okay if we die to you, and we'll block you there. No cards. I gain 2 life. Phew! That was kind of tough. He didn't make it easy for me. Well, the thing was Trample. So far, I'd say that it's been a factor. But I love this, by the way, this deck sleeve. I need to get that somehow if I can. It hasn't necessarily been the deciding factor. Maybe that'll change here if we get to build up our shrine or not. At some point we're going to need a black mana. This is usually what the Magic the Gathering Online does to you when they decided you need to lose. Never mind, there we go. Alright. Attack! Pay to pump it up. If he doesn't have a way to remove that, we'll be sitting pretty. That has Death Touch, so we can't have things with Death Touch stay around. They mess with our shrines. But at least if he brings them back, we can strong enough to kill him now. Okay, so he gets to look at the top 3 cards of his library, then put one of those in the hand, the rest in the graveyard. So he got rid of a land and a vengeance, and he exiled the Nightcrawler Scavenger. He gets the 3/3. Let's do this. I don't have a way to pump him up, but maybe we can trade that and we'll be okay there. We really just want to keep the shrine around and pump him up so the trample will have an effect. The opponent is not going to make it easy.
Out of my way! I have a wedding to stop.
He took it.
Blood for knowledge. A fair trade.
Why am I not worried about that? That enchantment needs a creature on board in order to do something. Although he could make an angel real quick. That's a new scavenger, isn't it?
Nothing on Innistrad is free.
It's gonna let the damage be taken.
Can I help you?
And we can finally afford to pay and make him bigger. Yeah. Now he's got some stuff.
You fight for me now.
Didn't have any creatures left in the graveyard, though. Oh, he can exile mine. Nice. Tossing the lands. Can I block that? How can I block that? Oh, I can block and kill this guy. Yeah, okay. That's how I want to do it. Got lots of mana now, though. Can bring him down, yeah? Don't kill my shrine. I just got him up to 5/5. Fine. I'm tapped out, right?
You wish to know my secrets?
Okay.
Very well.
This is a painful slog.
Balance may never be restored now.
Angels. Gross. It's mostly tapped out, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 4. I don't care if you attack. I don't care about you dying. Except now, you can kill 2 of my guys at once, right? Another planeswalker.
For the sake of all Innistrad, my will must be obeyed. You deal with this annoyance.
Okay. Kill you. And you would stay the same.
Know that I will not abandon my quest.
It's got all of these legendary creatures. Uh-oh. Xanathar. Xanathar could be a problem. He's got enough blockers and powerful enough to stop me now. Maybe I just let him get me down to 13 so I can transform my creature. Oh, he's spending a lot of time thinking about this. So what happens when you have the 3 colors and all these different ways of combining everything? I need my flyers. Where are my flyers all at? Okay. Do I have... Okay, I do have somebody in my graveyard. Okay, so you come into play. Yeah, let's get rid of you, and we'll get rid of the Karak. Then we'll bring you into play, and we'll do zombies. And what was the last one we said we could do? Wizard, Warlock, Vampire, Human? What else do I have? Bear? I guess we're done. At least we're able to see what he's going to take and do to us. Oh no. That's horrible. Okay, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's do 7. You just got more life out of it. So now he gets to destroy all those if he wants. I should have killed my guy and drawn the card myself. Bring the 4/5s in. How come we get to see that card? He didn't bring anybody back. Oh, he doesn't have snowlands. Sweet. Okay, so 4, 5, 6, 7. I messed that up. We've got him down a little bit better than that. What do we got? Land and land. Excellent. Exile my land, will you?
Under my watch, neither vampire nor human extinct. You can deal with my servant. I'm busy.
There's my flyer. Shoot. Yeah, okay. You die, please. And then you lose a creature. He's still got all the Storm Giants there. He's got another Xanathar? That's a lot of mythic rares. Oh, jeez. I think we're dead.
Wallow in darkness, then. You deal with this annoyance.
Yeah, I think we're dead. I just need him not to catch my other Soul Shatter. No, I used both Soul Shatters. I think that's all my removal. Didn't even have enough extra mana to pump up my Trampler. Oh no. He can use him to kill my own shrine with the other shrine. That's just great. He can kill off all the 1/1s at his leisure. Okay, this is where we find out if the trampling works. Trampling's going to make the difference here. Did he just make a mistake? I think he's the one that just made the mistake, not me. I don't have other shrines, so he can't get up to 2. And he's all tapped out. If he doesn't have another way to remove the Valkyrie, I think I've got him. Come on. Come on, you either got it or you don't. He didn't keep a mana free to kill another one of the 1/1s with the shrine. Come on, you're all tapped out and you did your attack. It's my turn. You either got it or you don't. You could kill me next turn, maybe. Feed the bear while we wait. He also knows what this card is. You've got at least 2 turns. I can't kill you next turn. Hello. We were doing well. I wish I could see what this card was, so we would know if he's scooping just because he knows what I've got coming up. But let's see, we've got 5, 6, 7, 8 snow-covered lands. Well, 9, but we could only use 8 to pump him up. But that would make him a 10-10. He'd get 2 life back for that to 14, so he'd go down to 4. He'd lose him as blocker, and he'd survive. So we'd have all of these cards, all this mana, including that guy. But I should have enough to block him. I think we're being scooped. Because he misplayed. He could have taken this out with the Shatter Skull smashing. Instead, he took out the Shrine. He could have killed the Shrine with this guy if he'd kept enough mana. And even so, he's still starting at a 1-1. That's not a big deal. So he could have killed this guy easily. Oh, sorry, that's a woman, isn't it? Valkyries are pretty much all women, I think. Yeah, so I think we only won because of his misplay. He had a lot of mythic rares and rares. Legendary creatures. Shatter Skull Smashing. Xanathar. Lots of rares and uncommons for even the newer cards. Mythic rare for Olivia. I think this guy is a money player. I think we're up against pay to play. Yeah, okay. I think he knew he had more information than us and he decided he couldn't win. Alright, that's the deck. You know, when I did this a year ago, I think I was focused almost exclusively on the one Evergreen term at a time. So I just did pretty much only Trample in the deck. This time I combined Trample and Flying because Trample you might need to explain to a new player, but Flying's really easy, right? I don't think necessarily that we need an entire Flying deck just to cover the concept of Flying in a game, in a card game these days. But it's been a while since I did an all-flyer deck, so I might do that anyway. But this was an interesting deck. Sometimes it seemed like all you needed was one Flying Trampler, and then the game was over and they would just scoop. And that could be because some are kind of overpowered like Blood Vial Purveyor, or maybe I had enough mana down for ones like the Hellstorm Valkyries. But I think the combination is what overpowered in this case. Sometimes Trampling, you know, had an impact, it had an effect, but it didn't decide the game. Sometimes maybe it decided the game. I think more often it didn't decide the game, it was more up to the Flying, and that we got some people over their heads to do the damage. But yeah, Flying plus Trample, yeah, we have 3 good people right there that do that. And the rest of the deck, I think, did a pretty good job of supporting what we needed to do. So go ahead and, you know, try it out if you get a chance. Let me know how it goes. Go ahead and like and subscribe, and we're going to do some more Evergreen terms this month. It's the month of June. And share it with a new person who play Magic. Help them learn the terms if they don't know everything just yet. We did include some extra stuff in here, you know, so we had an example of Lifelink, we had an example of Hexproof and Indestructible. We'll make some other decks throughout this month that focus exclusively on those terms, and we'll have a lot more examples of those so coming up not too far from now. In the meantime, this is Travis. You're at Tpull's Corner. Thanks for joining us. Have a good one.